At Commanders.
I'm going to take Mike Tomlin off a bye as an underdog. He's the best underdog coach, maybe of his generation. Take the Steelers plus the 3 points. Back-to-back games with 400-plus yards. Russell Wilson is really keying in on George Pickens, thriving together. Here's the thing. Their defense is terrific. #1 red zone defense. So even if Washington busts off some big plays, they'll settle more often for field goals than touchdowns. And the Commanders' defense is bad. 28th best red zone defense. And I kind of like what I've seen from Pittsburgh's red zone offense and run game with Russell Wilson. I have a feeling Pittsburgh's going to control the clock, pound the rock, move the pocket, and when the Commanders do move the ball against the great defense, they'll move it some, they'll settle for field goals. I'm taking Mike Tomlin off a bye plus the points as an underdog to beat Washington 27-24.
All right, I am pumped for this game, truly, and it's one of the benefits of, honestly, just liking a lot of different teams and not just being one singular fan, because I get to just kick back and enjoy this game because these are two teams that I'm high on both of them, and I'm most certainly definitely in these types of games I am not making any type of prediction because I just want to be able to watch and enjoy the show, right? Not have this feeling of at least telling everyone who I think will end up winning versus not, because also the reality is I don't know. And I am never afraid to admit that I have no idea. As you guys know, I've been talking huge about Jayden Daniels, Washington Commanders, calling Jayden Daniels the MVP. And I've also been talking a lot about the run the Steelers can go on with Russell Wilson. So, when I see a game like this, I'm just like, the reality is there's no reliable way to make any type of prediction. There's just not. It's just a complete guess. I don't care what anyone says. It is an absolute complete guess. Now, what I will say is this, okay? I will say that for the Commanders, this is most likely, really honestly, most definitely, their most complete team that they've faced. Now, I know the Ravens are more likely going to be the best team, best quarterback, Lamar Jackson, but their defense is just not good at all. Now, the Steelers might not be as high and as potent as, say, the Ravens' offense, but their defense, so, their floor is so much higher, even if their ceiling isn't as high. So this will definitely be, arguably the most complete team that the Washington Commanders have faced, and a great defensive head coach in Mike Tomlin with the actual defense to back it up, to attack a young rookie quarterback. And one of like the gold standards, right? One of the main, shining achievements of great defensive coaches and defensive coordinators, or head coaches for that matter, really is historically their ability to just get after rookie quarterbacks. No matter how great that rookie quarterback is doing, they just know it. They understand it, right? It's their expertise on the ball, and as long as they have the resources to be able to do it, they just know how to make young quarterbacks uncomfortable, right? And again, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not making, again, I can't emphasize this enough. I'm not making any predictions. I'm just trying to lay out all the options here, right? And what are the possibilities? And so that is definitely a legitimate possibility, and that's no indictment on Cliff Kingsbury and Jayden Daniels and any of that. But that's what's also interesting, to have Cliff Kingsbury, because he's going to know that too. It's not like a secret that great defensive coaches, for the most part, own rookie quarterbacks. It's not a secret here. And so it's going to be interesting to see how Cliff Kingsbury handles that. How does he help put Jayden Daniels in a position for success? If Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders play great offensively, to me, that is going to be, even if they lose this game, right? Even if they lose this game, that to me will just continue to be the legend of Jayden Daniels and just highlight that connection between Cliff and Jayden Daniels. If they're able to really put one on them offensively, it would be wildly impressive to me, right? And I think that would be such a great barometer and representation of what's not only going to happen moving forward this season, but then obviously on the long term, because it'll just show how progressed and how mature and how experienced and just the level of talent and abilities that Jayden Daniels already possesses, right? It would be very, very incredible. And make no mistake, Dan Quinn is also a great coach, a great defensive mind, and he played his part in making Caleb Williams look completely uncomfortable. I mean, think Caleb Williams was really comfortable against the Jags and stuff. Like, he had a string of games that he looked super comfortable. He was not comfortable in the game of Dan Quinn, right? So again, that is what really great, smart defensive coaches who have been around the block once or twice, that's what they do. So to see if Jayden Daniels can overcome that and look comfortable would just be really fascinating to see, and would be obviously really awesome to see. And with that said, I think the Steelers now, right, it's going to be interesting to see, because this will definitely be one of their better, if not best. I got to remember exactly. I should have looked it up before, who they faced. Let me do that right now before. Yeah, I mean, if we look at who the Steelers faced offensively, this is the best offense that they've faced, right? So their defense is well respected and is well ranked, but they played the Falcons week 1. Kirk Cousins could not move at all. It was his first game in a while, so it's just like, I don't even really consider that. The Broncos, again, rookie quarterback Bo Nix, and again, obviously we believe that Jayden Daniels is better than Bo Nix, especially in this moment, but still, Bo Nix was very uncomfortable that whole time. The Chargers, Justin Herbert didn't even finish the game. I think he got out of the game by like the third quarter, having like a ankle injury, right? And then the Colts, they lost. Anthony Richardson was in the game, and then Joe Flacco came in. Again, a pretty tough, bizarre game. And then the Cowboys obviously are the Cowboys. And then you got the Raiders and the Jets. So this should be, without a doubt, the best offense with the most dynamic and quite frankly, the best quarterback that the Pittsburgh Steelers have had to go up against, right? So this is going to be also for the Steelers now. It's going to be a great barometer game for their defense, right? Can you make this quarterback uncomfortable? Can you make Cliff Kingsbury make mistakes from a play calling perspective, right? Can you force them to make changes at halftime, right, to adapt within their game? Or will they be able to execute their game plan exactly as they want, right? That's going to be interesting to me. And Russell Wilson, right, he got some extra pieces, right? They really tried to help support him now, and he's getting more comfortable week after week. And they added, gave him another weapon. And I'm curious to see what he looks like offensively. If he continues this trajectory, it's clear that he also is starting to have a connection with now his newer offensive coordinator, and it's like, how far does that connection develop? Because before, it felt like that offensive that OC really wanted Justin Fields to be the quarterback, right? The way he made certain comments, it felt like, kind of taking a shot at Russ. And, even Colin Cowherd kind of highlighted it. But now it's obvious that this offense is significantly better with Russ. And it's like, how has that relationship now developed? Has it become more mutual, connected? We're going to see, because I feel as though the players clearly are excited to be with Russ and want to continue this. So that's why this game is, honestly, it's a shame that this is a random Sunday at 1. Like, this should be a primetime game, right? This should be a primetime game. You have two teams that are insanely popular, but for the last few years have not had much to cheer about, right? So people are not constantly talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers as of late, and they weren't talking about the Washington Commanders as of late. And anything that they were talking about, there was kind of all the problems, right? No one was ever really talking about the potential of the Pittsburgh Steelers over the last couple of years. Same thing, obviously, with the Washington Commanders. And now you have two teams that really feel like they're ascending, but for two completely different reasons, right? One team got a new quarterback. Well, I guess both teams got a new quarterback. One old, one new, right? Both teams got a new OC, and both are led defensively. So actually, there's a lot more similarities than I'm even giving credit to. But it's young versus old, right? It's young coach versus new coach. It's young quarterback versus new quarterback, right? So it's going to be interesting. I think there's so many different levels to this game and so many different directions that it can go in, which is, again, why I'm not going to make a prediction. And I just think that this will arguably be the best team that both of these teams played. So it's just going to be a great idea of who they are. If the Washington Commanders can shut down the Pittsburgh Steelers offensively, it's like, okay, that's really, really impressive. Stop acting that the Commanders defense then is bad. And if the if the Steelers are able to shut down and really slow down Jayden Daniels, to me, that's going to be a big indicator of like, you know what, this defense is for real. This defense is they're not just taking advantage of bad teams and bad quarterback play, bad coaches. Like, they are for real. Jayden Daniels is on one, with the caveat that he is a rookie. So it's going to be interesting. I can't emphasize this enough that I am pumped for this game. It's just, it should be close. It should be tight. And if it's not, then, that's the storylines will write themselves, quite frankly. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Colin's prediction that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to best Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.